G'day, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between. Welcome back to another episode of Spectate the Player, where as a Chapter 1, Season 1 veteran, I'm going to be bringing you guys the latest and greatest tips, tricks, strategies, and more to winning not only more games, more crowns in Fortnite, Chapter 6. So if you guys are keen, as always, to see if this, is that the Dark Explorer? You guys are keen to see if this crown player here will be able to send it back for the 2 for 2. Right, the back-to-back crown wins. Make sure you guys do hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button. Right, we're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. So anything you guys can do there to help us out will be greatly appreciated. But I tell you, YOTTP, Yotip running the Striker as well as the Thunder. They're going to have a very fantastic sort of early game set up here, as well with that med kit now. Quite a lot of action here over at Corruption. Alright, now for the high range here on top of the building, sending back Fortnite Kid 34-55-8 to the lobby. Breaking these windows to jump through. You don't really need to do that. You can just jump through these windows, unlike past seasons where maybe you would have actually had that first shot be blocked by the window. So for example, if you guys are trying to shoot players in cars, something you want to be mindful of is the fact that the windows will stop the very first bullet of whatever gun you shoot at them with, right? So if you guys are shooting at them with a pistol, with an assault rifle, a shotgun, or a sniper, the car windows are going to block that first shot. So take that into account here. Of course, he's a little bit out of ammo. Going to go for the fender bender there to send back Oblong Widget. Picking up a gun that actually has some ammunition here. Going to be that suppressed AR, and I tell you what, if you guys are ever looking for ammunition, Burns' Manor is the place to go. Alright, we've got an Agent Peely here, of course, for the 60 on the fender. Coming back and now for seconds. He tells you he does all day and all night. He loves dessert. YOTTP. Yotip now, trying to finish him off without any bullets in his chamber. Alright, and there he goes. A couple left. Only one is needed, though, for Frog the Cat. Now for the medkit. Trying to get up some shield, trying to get up some health. This will come in handy, especially considering if you go inside here in the matter, there's going to be, I believe, at least 4 of the big, large ammo bags there. So plenty of opportunity for heals. Alright, you're going to have chests sort of littered around in each sort of corner here of this courtyard. Alright, you're going to have a lot of chests there. Inside here, you've got your ammo boxes. Alright, especially in that main sort of courtyard. As well as some more down in here. Of course, we do have the close range there against Ang Daddy. Yotip will be picking up the kill there, as well as a blue tack, which, look, a lot of players are saying that the tack is arguably the best shotgun in the game right now. You know, and I dare say I'd have to agree. I do think the Thunder is very, very good if you guys are going for that sort of Sentinel vibe, where you're waiting behind corners, where you only need to get 1 or 2 shots off. You know, if you guys are good with weapon switching, the Thunder is probably going to be good for you, right? It's going to look after you, especially if you get off some nice shots with the assault rifle there. You can definitely just go 1 shot with the Thunder, followed up by 2 to 5 shots with an assault rifle, and then you can I think 9 times out of 10, get the kill with another weapon switch back to the Thunder shotgun. So there's definitely some strategies out there like that. Of course, there's 23 players right now, not even top 20, and Yotip is already with 6 kills to the name. Of course, coming up and around to the back side of this POI, he's got the steamy stacks over there in the distance there over at the power plant. But what he's trying to do now is get some ammunition. So what he should be doing is he should have gone inside because there's a lot of ammo in there. But you know what? This works as well, and I've got no doubt in my mind that Yotip will be able to kill some players and get the ammo off their bodies as well. So if you guys do not get your sort of ideal 120 to 250 plus sort of ammunition from your drop spot, that's okay. Do not worry about it, because you can kill other players for the ammo as well. So I think that's something that I like to do personally, is simply by trying to just get in and out of a POI quickly. You know, do not want to be spending a lot of time there, because you'll find yourself in a position like Yotip is in right now, where he's taking some unintended damage. It's not really necessary. He's going for the double there. The double 5 guns. I'm sure this is a mistake. I'm sure he'll go, okay, there he goes. I was about to say, maybe this is a strategy we're about to witness in action here live. Of course, guys, I do all of these commentaries live. If you do enjoy it, make sure you do hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button. And use creator code SurelyItsButter the next time you're in the item shop. Of course, the long range here with the Shocky. Coming on in and close down near the servo here, aka the Quickie Mart. I do have an NPC. You can get heals off these NPCs, guys. A random heal. Just walk up to them, interact with them, and they'll drop you a random heal, like a bandage, a med kit. Alright, the big boys, etc. So, very, very helpful there. And if you guys are running a little bit low on them, just, try and look on the map. Try and go, okay, where do I know these NPCs or characters are? And then just sort of make your way around to them, and you can go grab the heals that way. So, of course, you're also going to get these zip lines here, which will disable the full damage if you jump off them early. So, do not feel like you've got to stay up on those zip lines, guys, and you're getting shot at. Just know, okay, I can jump on down here as well. So, you do not need to take a lot of damage there. Of course, Yotip trying to go for Lord knows what here. Oh, okay, he's got another player here. The shockwave up high. He does knock him away to the side there. The 5-gun coming out with the weapon switch. The Suppressed AR for the follow-through. Well played to Anonymous268, but also well played to Yotip. That was actually some really nice shooting there by him. I just feel like he got a little bit carried away there with the 5-gun from the far away, but look, it is what it is. Anonymous268 picking up that crown. Let us see how they decide to handle this. Alright, coming on up with the zone here behind them, getting absolutely slingshot from the distance over there. He's trying to find where they're at. He does spot them. Of course, some of those shots getting blocked by the mountain, the cliff edge. He jumps up for the close range. He's got no shotgun. It doesn't really matter. Speed brace. We're picking up the kill there. Well played to Speed Brace, of course, with the Cuddle Team Leader cape. One of my more favourite capes, actually. I did quite like it. I remember when Cuddle Team Leader came out, I got that skin. I think it was one of the first skins, anyway, that I can remember buying. There's definitely a few earlier ones there, but whatever the case, he's waiting until he gets a little bit closer to use that medkit, because if he uses it now, it might finish basically at the point where maybe he only has 90 health. Maybe it won't heal him up fully. So wait until you're as close to the to this zone, this free area as possible before using it. As long as you can survive to do that, right? I think there's obviously going to be circumstances where you might need to pop it a little bit earlier, and that's okay. Just means you might not be able to get the full 100 health back. So Speed Brace now coming on down, checking his corners, which is good to see. Checking down below before he jumps there, which is also really, really good to see. Of course, these jumps are going to be very similar to the green water dashes, alright, from Chapter 5 in the Greek Gods sort of update there. These donuts, of course, littered around the place. Alright, now we're trying to scout out. There's a Homer Simpson down below. You guys might need to rewind that in 0.25 speed. There he is, the red. Did you guys see him? Down near the donuts. There he goes. Speed Race now. Has spotted them. Of course, 25 for the suppress. Following up for the 70 now. Trying to get a little bit more here. Alright, of course, going for the slingshot here. The devil Homer Simpson. 40 again for the headshot. I tell you, if you guys are looking for a long-range gun that does a lot of damage, go for the suppressed over the striker. Alright, going for the blue variant now. It's going to be a little bit more consistent, especially hard-hitting. Alright, this is definitely got a purple to the left, but look, the striker's great for close to medium. It is fantastic. It's not terrible at long range either, but if you guys want the most amount of damage, make sure you guys are picking up the suppressed AR. So, a purple here, I tell you, it is a trade-up's nightmare, or at least a trade-up's dream. Trying to go for the blue as well there. A little bit of panic, but that's okay. So long as, Speed Brace sort of realizes, hey, look, sometimes fights are won 100% by skill, by aim, by the even the types of weapons you have, or the rarity of the weapons you have. But sometimes, right, sometimes you're actually going to win fights not by skill at all, or your weapons, but simply by who can keep their cool the longest. The close range here by Speed Brace. The Ranger doing such an alarming amount of damage there on Tamati V3. Well played to Tamati. Definitely going back to the lobby there. Of course, top 6. Alright, now behind this donut. Alright, what? Oh, okay, it's the Jebediah. Still getting chased out by those homers. Guys, if you guys are going for those mythical donuts, make sure you guys do try and get rid of those Homer Simpsons. Right, they are very, very persistent and very hard to shake off. Dodging that first damage there. 71 on the next shot. Of course, now trying to make their way up and over. He will go down. And there goes the homer as well. You know, I feel like this is something that other player could have done a little bit better there. Deli Welly 14 was trying to get rid of that Homer Simpson a lot longer ago. I feel like he could have been able to hide a lot better. He could have been able to take advantage of speed brace a little bit better. And he wouldn't have felt the need to be in as much of a panic as he might have been. Right, I feel like trying to keep yourself as cool, calm, and collected as much as possible is going to be 100% advantageous. Again, you do not need to destroy the windows here, guys. Your shots through the normal windows in this map will go through the window. They will hit the other player. You do not need to break them in case. Waiting for that line up there. He will miss it regardless. And again for the second shot. Of course, old mate in the car now taking quite a lot of damage. He's got enough ammo to spray at that vehicle. Coming up and around, he waits to juke, but he goes back for the car instead. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this episode, you know what 2 buttons to press here. Of course, coming back for the fender bender. He jumps it though. And now for the striker. Close range. Weapon switching to the ranger there with some beautiful work. He needs to get a move on though. Alright, that zone is doing a lot of damage. And look, he's only got 29 health left. So this is where the chug jug is going to come in handy. There's a campfire up there to his left. I would actually try and run over there. There's also going to be... But look, you know what? It is what it is. He's top 2. Maybe he doesn't need so much of a shield right now. Alright, but let us see here. Starting the fight on the Mo here. Of course, there we go. Alright, the Blinky as well as the mythical striker. Or should we say, yes, the mythical striker AR. I tell you, we're going to have to see how Mr. Blasty handles this. Alright, his loadout is looking good. A lot of cheese potential here. Well, not really cheese. I mean, look, he's got the Ranger, which is very hard hitting. It's just not very forgiving. Alright, so if you guys are looking for something like that, go pick up the Ranger. It's going to deal a lot of damage, but it's not really going to be able to forgive a lot of misfires there. So be mindful of that. The Mr. Blasty and the Legendary. The Shockwave up high here, following up with those Blinky dashes, making their way into the zone. There's a Marge NPC here as well. If I recall correctly, the Marge gives you the SMG Mythic. Now, whether he wants it or not is anyone's guess. He very well could. He's going to go for it, though, which is very interesting here. Beautiful choice. Beautiful choice. The Mythic Striker plus the Mythic SMG with a Ranger. Alright, he can shoot off a lot of damage with the Ranger. Followed up with a lot of damage with that Mythical SMG. You know, there's really not a lot of wiggle room here for error. He has switched it out, of course, for the Mr. Blasty. And now the Squishies here to give him that speed boost effect. The Shockwave to get him out into zone a little bit quicker. Alright, to save some of that health. Look, it's all going to add up, really. There's also a little slurp box there he could have destroyed, but making his way on in now. Alright, the top 2. 8 kills to the name for Speed Brace. Loot to the left there, right up ahead. No sign of this other player, however, zone is oh so far in the distance. Going for the med kit up. He's not really checking his corners. You want to be checking far away. If I was old mate, the other guy, I'll be waiting in zone here, up on a cliff face near a rock like here. Maybe behind this rock here. That's where I would be. I could also be inside one of these buildings here, trying to catch the players who are rotating on in. So if people are coming in here, I could watch them here. I could watch them from here. Alright, and definitely catch them off guard. And it's going to be a little bit difficult for Speed Brace here because they do have that zone on their back. They have that bit of pressure. Alright, they've got some shockwaves to the right. They walked past, they didn't see it. He's going for the Squishies instead, so obviously he had a plan in mind. Waiting. There it goes. Perfect. Now he's got mobility. Now he's got that jump boost and that other special effects there, which is going to be able to help Speed Brace out quite a lot. But let us just see real quick. We do have the Homer Simpsons here, as well as the Mythic gun. Alright, the new Mythic here. Let us see, is it the assault rifle? No, he decides to run back. He says, Butter, I don't want it. Alright, he's going to get that speed boost here. Now making his way back up around the corner of these rocks. The zone is in the distance. He needs to get a move on. And he needs to position himself well. I feel like this is something that a lot of players sort of forget about. Late game is positioning is everything. Especially in a small map. Of course, the one shot there. on the meanie cat. I forget what its name is. Let me know down below in the comment section what that cat's name is. Is it Meanie? Is it Minnie? Of course, Mr. Blasty here, showing us just exactly how it's done, and then the SMG to follow it up on Monkey King. Ladies and gentlemen, well played to Speed Brace, and if you did enjoy that episode, make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and as always, take care, Garnier.